What's up, you guys? Westside here, and today I'm going to be showing you some Premiere Pro basics. Premiere Pro can be a pretty daunting program if you're not used to it, so I wanted to make a little tutorial for the beginner user. If you've never opened it before, this video is for you. We'll be covering a lot more topics in Premiere Pro on later tutorials, but today, buckle up, get ready to learn some basics. So we got Premiere Pro and it's opening up right now. It's going to bring us to our projects page. It's going to show us all our recent projects. If you just downloaded it, it would be empty. To get started, you just simply come over here, new project, and we're going to title this Basics. You don't have to adjust anything else, just hit OK. And I do want to point out that I am going to be doing this on a Mac. The keyboard shortcuts are very similar for PC, but to see exactly what you're working with as far as keyboard shortcuts, you can come up here into the little Premiere Pro tab, keyboard shortcuts, and it will show you what everything does. Right now we have a completely empty project. And to import some media, we can do it a few different ways. You can right click, import, or you can simply drag and drop files. Once we've dragged the file in, it will start importing the files. And now all our clips are right here. We can look at them in clip view, or you can come down here in list view. Or this is a new one, it's called freeform view. And if you make this bigger, you can actually see what's going on. Say you have two clips that match, or you want to keep together, you can simply drag them and kind of just put them all in a little pile. This is new on the new update for Premiere. So yeah, I played around with that. I usually use list view or icon view, just so I can see what's going on. And step one with my edits is usually a song. So we will find a song and we'll drag it in here. Now we found our song, now we're just going to drag it in here. You can either drag it into your project bin, which we will do. You can also drag it directly to your timeline. So the majority of my footage, in most cases, actually all of this footage is 1080-60. So we want to keep our timeline settings 1080-60, so we're just going to simply drag our first clip on, and it's going to set our timeline sequence to 1080-60. We can delete that. So we're going to find our song in our project bin, drag it on our timeline. We're going to zoom in on our sequence timeline by hitting the plus on our keyboard. We will start out fairly zoomed in. Now that we have our audio, you can hit space bar and it will start playing. So let's find our first clip here. We're going to take our first clip that we want to drag down. Rather than dragging a whole 8-minute clip in our timeline, we're not going to use all 8 minutes of it. So we're going to bring it up here into our source monitor. And we're just going to kind of scrub through and find the part that we want. And say we want to start it right there. You're going to hit I on your keyboard. It's going to create an in point. Say right there I want it to stop. You're going to hit O for an out. So now you have an in point and an out point. You can either drag the whole thing by dragging the clip itself, or you can drag just the audio, or just the video. In this case, we're going to drag just the video. So now again, you can hit space on your keyboard, and you have something playing so far. Now that looks good, but it's just a little fast, and we shot it in 60 frames, so we have a lot of frames to work with, so we're going to slow it down. Now there's a couple options we got when we're slowing down footage. You can highlight it, hit Control R on your keyboard, and it's going to bring up your speed settings. So right now we're at 100%. We're just going to come up here and type in 40%. You don't want to go any lower than that with 60 frames per second, because at that point it brings it down to 24 frames per second and there isn't any skipped frames. Once you go below 40%, it will start skipping frames. So now our clip's at 40%. Or we can also use this method for slowing down our footage. What I'm going to do is make our layer a little bit taller so we can see what's going on. And this little effects button right here, you're going to right click it, go down to time remapping to speed, hit speed, and now we have this bar that popped up, and we can adjust this to our desired speed. So those are two ways you can adjust speed on your timeline. And a quick way to reverse your clips, again, we're going to come up to the speed menu, Control R. I'm just going to hit reverse speed. hit OK, and now your clip's going to play in reverse. And now since we manipulated the clip, it's not wanting to play back smooth. See how it's kind of chopping? We're going to come over here, and remember our in and out points we were using? We're going to use them on our sequence. We're going to hit I, we're going to come over here to after the clip, hit O for out, and then we're just going to hit enter on our keyboard. Now what this is doing is it's rendering the project file that you manipulated so you can watch it back in real time. And now you can see our clip plays back smooth.